Hello everybody, welcome to Sonic Lab Patch Flip. It's the Cherry Audio Trident Mark III. That's right, and this is, well, you could look at the size of it. It's much bigger than any of the other ones that we've done of theirs, and that's because this is a representation of the sort of classic Korg OG Trident Mark I/Mark II. Mark I came out in 1980, Mark II came out in 1982, and this was like a really big performance synth. Sectional, you can see we've got synthesizer, brass and strings. Originally had 8 voices, 16 presets, and then the Mark II had 32 presets and a few other things besides. It was a sort of one of those of the epoch of the Jupiter 8 and perhaps the sort of Elka, big Prophet 5, that sort of big stage synths. I guess more akin to the Jupiter 8, to be honest, because that was a really big beast of a synth. And this was played by people like Rick Wakeman and various other people. And it could sound very large for its time. And obviously Cherry Audio have done their thing and they've expanded it. No limitation on those polyphony. I mean, the polyphony was 8 voices, like I say. This guy has loads, and you can see there's always different modes. If I just show you, we take the keyboard, I think, add effects. We've, as well as the presets and the obviously there's loads of presets and the polyphony, we've got these massive, sort of fairly substantial effects sections. And I'm just going to start off, well, aside from the first one, I made this pad really quickly. Let me see what I did. I put, where did I put it? I think, I put it on the global. And I've just put a reverb on this. This is all there is. So there's, 5 effect slots for each section plus 5 global. This has just got mod wheel here. Because this keyboard doesn't actually have aftertouch, I've mapped aftertouch using Bohm's MIDI translator, just channel aftertouch. And it just sounds majestic, doesn't it? And that's just a really simple, so you can kind of see the effects adding an awful lot to this, obviously. So what I'm going to do is, in the tradition of my patch flips, we're just going to flip a few through and see just how 80s we can. This is really going to challenge my riffing because I'm not really a kind of a dictionary of 80s riffs, but this is what this synth is really designed for. It's sort of the largesse of the 80s kind of big stage synth. So what I've got here is I've just one nice thing about the Launch Key Mark III is I can have key commands on these. And if we look up here, next preset is Apple or function key, right arrow and left arrow. So what I've done is I've just mapped them. That was my first, and I've created a load of favorites. There are a ton of presets in here. You can see all of them there. I've just gone for my favorites just because otherwise I'll be here all day. And, some sound good, some less so. And these are the ones that I thought sounded particularly good. So this one's called Voyager. This is the one I started with. We've got an arpeggiator on that layer. In fact, if I show you quickly, we've got the motion. You can see the arpeggiator slash sequencer is working on the synthesizer and brass sections. You can assign them. It's very simple and straightforward. And then we've got the strings in the top. I think that's how that works. Anyway, let's try another one. What's this one? Taurus 2. This is just a simple big bass line. It's not quite John Carpenter, isn't it? Yeah, sounds alright. Sequence split. This is probably going to be... Oh, if I go down here, maybe I'll drop down an octave. So you can see the split there is, and then I probably need to come up a bit, and I've got the strings in there. If I had a bigger keyboard I could do. Don't know what the key is. So you can see there's quite a lot. So this is playing that sort of rather cheesy chord sequence. And then that's the strings. So, I mean, it's quite powerful in what we can just set up from one keyboard input in terms of those splits. Let's see what's next. This is quite nice. Aftertouch is obviously doing a little bit. That's quite a nice sequence, isn't it? It's a pedal. Oh, you can see the little joystick there, because I think the original Trident had some joysticks. That's nice, isn't it? There's a lot of John Carpenter vibe of this, isn't there? I mean, I guess it's the era. This is just a nice... Let's see what's going with the effects, because I think there's just... You can see each layer has its own on-off switch. We're just using the synth output here, and there's all these different modes. VCF response. Kind of sounds a little bit like those Yamaha CS's with those different filter types. Maybe CS15 or something. Let's see what this one is. Lots of effects going on this one. Let's see what the... It's just a straight split across the keyboard. Very nice. Sort of, oh, this is very kind of blown out, dreamy sequence, isn't it? With the sunspots moving across the lens, either in space or just maybe someone's waking up after a long illness in a 1980s western, and they're sort of, maybe they've been befriended by an Indian tribe, and they're really unsure of their surroundings, and they're just seeing all this sort of beautiful surroundings. That sort of thing. I'm thinking sunshine and countryside, right. Borg Hive, I suppose that could... See what sort of effects are going on this one. Yeah, there's a lot of effects. You can see you set the effects per slot. Oops, I've just seemed to have added distortion to that, which is not unpleasant, but probably not what I was going for. So I was a bit fiddly with this. A big shout out for the fact that there are key commands for slipping patches, because a lot of plugins don't allow this, which means it's, for me as a reviewer or someone just wants to flip patches without having to create custom banks, it's a really sort of useful way of doing things. So, ooh, that's nice. Let's see what's going on in the keyboard split here. It's almost weather reports. But a bit more dramatic. Kind of like a super saw. I guess there must be some sort of unison going on there. Yeah, we got a unison on the synth section. You do 2 voice, 4 voice, 6 voice. Nice. What's this one doing? Another bass. Fairly sort of charming, just simple yeah, it's quite nice. This has obviously got a bunch of, let's get into the motion. Sort of swung riff. As I said, there's comes 80s cheese here. Let's try this one. Oh, this is even more swung 80s. I have to find the key to this. There we go. I'm going to turn those up a bit. They don't sound loud enough to me. The outputs of the second levels. Let's just bring them. Yeah. Yeah, that's cheesy. Just a really nice big arpeggiator. Let's see what, if we, because we can switch these. We've got level control over each of the layers, and there's pan control as well. So if we just, oh, that's the output. So let's take the strings. Let's see what the synth's doing first. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. So the brass is doing that arpeggiator. And if we take the, there's just a string, so the arpeggiator is working just on there. Here's another nice arpeggiator. It's definitely got, it's that sort of phasey string underneath, which sounds like, this feels like it might be a happy moment in a TV drama, which has outside broadcast. Yeah, quite like that. There's quite a lot of, I've done quite a lot of arpeggiator ones, haven't I? This is nice. Very atmospheric, this, isn't it? Just synth and strings. Soupy. This feels like Under a Bridge in the Rain. It's called Storm Towers. Storm Lovers. Yeah, I suppose that fits. Or I think it just plays. I wonder if I can find out who this is by. Are there any... Does it say... I don't know who's done these patches. I'm afraid I can't give anybody a check out, a name check, because I don't see where it shows them. So I do apologise for not bringing that out. That's lovely. It's just generative, isn't it, really? I think the pattern just plays underneath. Oh yeah, you can see it at the top. Okay. Let's see what this one does. Stellar Endangerment. I really like that sort of VHS kind of wonkiness, isn't it? What's going on with the effects here? Flanger and dual delay. A load of stuff on the strings. Lo-fi, yeah. Yeah, really nice. Let's just start with a new one, just so I can sort of demonstrate a little bit about what's going on. So if I switch off all the outputs, start off with the synth. So we've got a synth section here. Filter, keyboard track. I mean, it's a fairly simple, it looks a bit like a Poly6 voice, actually, something like that. LFO, yeah, very simple. Turn that one off, and we've got different modes for that and routings for the VCO, for the LFO and the mod. Then we've got a brass section. We can. I guess these would have probably been originally divide downs on the, maybe on the original. I don't know. They're 8 voices, perhaps not. Very, very simple with a bit of vibrato. Switch that one on. And then we got the string section, which gives us 3 octaves. So we go high or mid. Then we've got vibrato and ensemble. One thing missing would be nice to be able to transpose each of the sections over different than an octave, so maybe have a 5th or something like that for each one, because you get some really big sounds with that. But anyway, that's by the by. So let's just go back to my favourites. I think we've just been to that one. Anyway, I hope that sort of explains a little bit about the structure. That's nice. I mean, it's got a vibe, hasn't it? I mean, this is the one Stellar Endangerment. Okay, so 9/8. This sounds like children's TV underscore, maybe for a quiz or competition. But we've got some rhythmic kind of interesting. Wow, that's interesting. Just a sort of nice bass sound. What's that made of? That's made of... Oh, just the bass. That's all there is. Just quite a nice pure sound. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. That looks like synth and strings. That's just a nice synthy pad from any era, really, isn't it? It's just got some lovely low end in that, and it occupies a lot of space. I wonder what's going on the effects on that. Yeah, just a bit of saturation, and then some stuff on the global, that reverb. Let's get that. This is quite a nice little reverb, actually. Get a bit of modulation. Yeah, sort of driving a bit. I don't know, that might have overloaded. I'm not sure. Right, let's see what else we got. This is just... That reminds me of something from The Revenant. Very stringy. What's going on there? It feels like there's a chord memory in there somewhere. Maybe there's some sort of a... was just the string, so then I don't know. Oh, maybe that the oscillators are tuned apart. Yes, I don't know. Nice patch though. This one is called Solar Evolution. I've gone for quite a lot of these pads. I think because the synth is so big, it sort of feels like it should make big synth pads. I do remember as a kid seeing an original of these in the window of a local music store and just thinking, wow, imagine if I could have one of those. Funnily enough, it was actually in there for a very long time, so I don't know. I think it was a bit overlooked. It kind of got overshadowed by the larger polysynths, the Jupiter 8 and the Prophet 5, which had more memories, so they were a bit more experimental in their nature, so it sort of got forgotten about. But it's a beautiful piece of hardware. If you ever get a chance to see one in the flesh, you'll think it's a monster. And these are lovely pads. Quite this feels like a bit of a moody, emotional moment, doesn't it? Not sure what's going on. Answer in the comments. Anyway, the Trident Mark III is available from Cherry Audio. I think it's 69 bucks, and you just kind of add it to your library, and it's a nice thing, and all those effects make a huge difference. Just in terms of if you want something that'll give you some big luscious pads. I mean, there's some wacky stuff in there as well. Take you back to the 80s, but with the sort of more of a 90s and 21st century effects. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.